Learn a lot. Even if you've been into Rotary a long time, you will still hopefully take something new from here. Before we get started, that's what I want to ask each and every one of you to do something. I want you to do something that is very hard for us as human beings to be able to do. Very difficult. I want you to suspend all of your judgments about what you hear today. And then after the course is over, give it time and go over everything that you've heard. Don't be telling yourself early on that our club's too small for that. Oh, our club's too big for that. Oh, that would never work in our club. One of the things that's important to remember about Rotary and Rotary clubs is they are evolving beings, evolving institutions. So something that might not have worked 2 years ago, you might have the proper people in place to make it work today. So just try to take in everything and make absolutely no judgments about anything like that until you get an opportunity. I'm also going to put really briefly something on the board, because what we're going to do in here shortly is we're going to develop what it means to be leaders and leadership characteristics. But what I'm going to put on the board, how many of you have been club presidents? Anyone? Okay. Actually, one of the things I'm putting on the board is from the Club President's Manual. But if you look at this and you remember this diagram and how it's designed, it will help you put in perspective all of the rest of RLI for the next 2 sessions that you do and through graduate. It will help you put into perspective the types of areas that presidents and people have to know for the actual planning and the strategic planning thing. It will kind of put Rotary in an all-around perspective. And many of you might have seen this in other areas as well. Kind of funny because it says 4 avenues of service on here, but how many avenues of service are there now? You know that? Did you all hear about there being 5 avenues? What are they?
Service?
Yeah, sure.
The new one is with the kids.
Generations.
Thank you, generations.
And what are the other 4?
Well,
right?
Vocational.
Absolutely.
I think it is community and international.
Yep. That's the 5 areas. That's the basis. One of the bases of everything we do. We have at the very bottom, we have our 5, and I'm not an artist. And we use the 5 avenues of service to develop our club leadership plans. We have our 4 pillars. Our 1 pillar is to sustain and increase membership. I'm just going to abbreviate membership, but we need to sustain and increase our membership. We have to have successful service projects. Of course, supporting the Rotary Foundation. And the last area is to develop leaders outside the club, and that's what we're doing here, so leadership. And this is what leads to effective clubs. You remember this picture? It kind of looks like this when an artist does it. You can pass it around and look at it. This is what I was trying to make. And that will put into perspective all the things, and you think about it and recall that as you go into each one of the courses as they start, of things that we're talking about. This is what it all builds around this, and it'll make a little bit more sense for you. All right. Everybody have enough coffee to be awake and stuff? Who writes well on a board? Who wants to be a scribe?
I'll do it.
Oh, terrific.
Volunteer.
Terrific.
need me to go up now?
Sure, okay.
Always misspell
What makes
stuff.
good leadership?
No, I'm not very good.
What? Vision.
Tolerance.
Tolerance. Communication skills.
Picking a good scribe.
You should have her draw that picture.
It's a word that I don't know how to spell yet, so just hold your judgment.
Yeah, there you go.
Commitment.
Yeah, the board doesn't come with spell check. That's what I always hated about them too. What else?
Willingness to serve the group.
Willingness to serve.
Open-mindedness.
Open-mindedness. It's really important.
Leading by example.
Lead by example. Anything else?
Sense of humor.
Sense of humor? If you've been in Rotary long enough, you'll know that the people who are generally in the leadership positions are those that those who don't know how to stay in the room when the meeting's being held and are elected if they step out of the room for any reason. What else?
Developmental skills.
Developmental skills.
Delegator.
Knows how to delegate.
Is organized.
Yeah, organizational skills, yeah.
How many people know people who aren't organized, though, in leadership positions?
An ego.
What?
An ego.
An ego?
Let's change that to self-confidence.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Must be a school teacher.
Accountable.
Accountable.
Ethical,
No, you don't need that.
yes. In my world, you do.
Anything else? All right, now we got some of the good characteristics. Change others, maybe. Who are some great leaders? Or people that you would consider great leaders?
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
George Washington.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Why did you say him? Just out of curiosity, because
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
he
you
has
said
a lot of
Teddy
backbone,
Roosevelt.
a lot of guts. He was willing to stand up for what's right all the time.
which,
Right under
He
Ronald
knew how
Reagan.
to walk softly
Ronald
and carry a
Reagan.
big stick.
Got things done.
is it Ronald Reagan?
I left FDR there.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
How about Merle Elliott, one of our fondest leaders in this community?
Who's that?
So Merle Elliott.
We're in the building
We're in
named
this
after him.
building.
Okay.
This building was
Yeah.
named for Merle Elliott.
Okay.
Earl?
Merle,
Merle.
M-E-R-L-E, I think.
Elliot.
Mhm.
Walt
For those of you who
Disney.
don't know Merle Elliott,
Disney, that's
you know, some of you from out of town, he's a local entrepreneur and a philanthropist extraordinaire in our area. As we mentioned, the building is named after him. That's a small tribute to what he actually did in this community.
Okay.
And I should have thought about that before I mentioned it, but he is a local fellow.
And what kind of characteristics did he have? Which
All of the above,
all of them?
you know,
Okay.
pretty much so.
one leadership characteristic is the most important? Is there anyone that is the most important?
Well, I think she brought up a good point in ethics. I think that's a foundation for a good straight path.
So ethical?
Vision, I think vision is probably, if you're gonna pick one, it's hard to choose just one because any one of them standing
Yeah.
alone doesn't do it. You know, it's a combination of characteristics that makes a leader. But often it's vision that differentiates a leader from just a really,
A leader from a great leader.
yes, a leader from a great leader.
I don't know, I think commitment would probably, because if somebody's really committed to that leadership role, a lot of those other things can develop, you know, from there. But like you said, it's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
They're all so important.
The good news is there is no right answer.
Right.
Mhm.
This is to just get us going and get us thinking about the different qualities and characteristics. And in our books, it lists different styles, and we're going to be going over styles. And going to have to decide what type of leadership style that you have, or try to. But all the words that are in there, none of them really describe perfectly anything. You know, I mean, it's as open as the one word that we're trying to come up with. So we have vision, commitment. Anybody else have a different one word that they think describes it all? A good communicator?